since February 2002, that was my lifetime goal, to be a Hall of Famer.
Without a doubt, Steve Smith Sr. is the most recognizable player in Carolina Panthers history. But is he a Hall of Famer?
If you don't know who Steve Smith is, by the end of this game, you don't know who he is. I promise you that.
Well, to answer that question, we first have to look at how Steve Smith came to be.
If you see this fight, that means I score.
Looking at the highs and even lows of his potential Golden Jacket career.
If you see this fight again, that means I score again.
I didn't want this day to happen because people would see my vulnerableness. I struggle with that because of the way I grew up. I grew up dirt poor. I'm not supposed to be here.
Born on May 12, 1979 in Los Angeles, California, Steve Smith faced adversity from an early age. Growing up with humble beginnings in the inner city of LA, football became his escape and his passion. Despite his small stature, Smith possessed an unmatched determination and grit that would define his playing style.
That environment was tough. It made me look at, if I'm gonna do something, I gotta do it full speed, because if I don't, that's what I go back to.
Believe it or not, Smith wasn't highly recruited coming out of high school because of his small stature and perceived anger issues. However, despite the initial setback, he would go on to attend Santa Monica Community College for 2 years, where he would learn how to channel his aggression.
Going back, I had to suspend him from a football game. He had 3 or 4 fights in practice in a week, and I brought him in the office and I asked him, why you've had so many fights this week, Steve? And Steve said, I don't know. I said, well, until you find out that you're gonna know, I'm not gonna let you play. I took something away from him that he loves to do, that's play football. And I told him that, and I needed him that week too. Sometimes in coaching, you gotta make a decision between the game and a player. We lost, and I needed him. When he came in Monday with his head down, I said, Coach, we lost. I said, I know, Steve. Can I play this week? I said, Steve, you don't have a fight this week? No. I never had another problem with it.
Interestingly enough, he would go on to be teammates with future NFL legend Chad Johnson. Smith's talent caught the attention of college scouts while at SMC, leading him to enter the transfer portal and take his talents to the University of Utah.
We started talking about Steve, and he said, the kid needs some direction. Good kid, nothing off the field problems, but on the field, he's gonna compete. And so I said, okay, that's not a problem. He says, no, he's gonna compete. And I said, okay.
While at Utah, Smith set a record for yards per catch with a 20.6 average and was chosen to play for the conference's all-star team twice. In his first season on the team, he ranked 4th in the NCAA in both punt return yards and yards per return. Smith will go ahead and finish his time at Utah with 78 receptions for 1,608 yards and 12 touchdowns, with another 1,365 return yards for 4 touchdowns on special teams. Next, Steve would have his eyes on the NFL. However, despite his undeniable skill as a first-round talent, he wasn't selected until the 3rd round of the 2001 NFL Draft, where the Carolina Panthers took a chance on him with the 74th overall pick.
We look at the last pick, Steve Smith. Another Ute, running Ute, going to Carolina.
Little did they know they had just drafted a future franchise legend. It was the beginning of a storied career that would leave an undeniable mark on the franchise and the league as a whole.
Goes to the 6-yard line. Smith for the hole. Smith, look at him go. There he goes. He's going to go all the way.
The rookie on his first touch as a professional, all the way for a touchdown.
In his rookie season, Smith wasted no time in making an impact. From the moment he stepped onto the field, Smith proved to be a game changer.
You can tell me I'm sorry, you can tell me I'm slow, but I wear these shirts, I wear these shirts.
Despite limited playing time, he showed flashes of brilliance, giving fans a glimpse of what was to come. However, it was in his second season that he truly burst onto the scene.
Going for it all, and the pass caught for the touchdown, Steve Smith.
Teaming up with quarterback Jake Delhomme, Smith emerged as one of the league's most electrifying wide receivers.
They don't call me the playmaker for nothing.
In 2003, Smith played a pivotal role in guiding the Panthers to the postseason, with one spectacular catch after another.
Delhomme fires to an open Smith. Steve Smith is going to go all the way. No flags down. Smith scores, and the Carolina Panthers win in overtime.
They ultimately fell short against the New England Patriots, But despite the loss, Smith's performance solidified his status as one of the league's premier playmakers.
Gonna go deep down the far sideline. It is caught! Touchdown! Steve Smith! The Patriots looking for a second Super Bowl title in 3 years. Looks good!
Smith's journey was not without its challenges. He endured injuries and setbacks like the partially torn MCL.
This is Smith, and he gets taken down from behind after a gain of 9, and he is shaken up.
Steve Smith in a lot of pain. Hannibal Navy's caught him down around the ankle. And the training staff that happened right by the Panther bench out to look at Steve Smith.
Wow.
He also dealt with off-field controversies that tested his resilience.
I would say this. There is no justification on my actions. And I apologize for all the people that I hurt. I take full responsibility. And all I can say is I'm sorry. I was a young, immature young man.
Yet, through it all, he remained steadfast in his commitment to the game and to his team. The commitment to the game rewarded Smith in 2005 as he would have another breakout year, leading the NFL in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns, aka the elusive Triple Crown, establishing Smith as not only a complete receiver, but one of the best in the entire NFL.
And the pass caught for the touchdown, Steve Smith.
You better double cover, triple cover. That's where I lead the league, right there. That's what I do best. Catch balls.
Steve Smith is one of the top 5 players in this league.
He would also go on to be honored with the NFL Comeback Player of the Year. Over the course of his 13-year career with the Panthers, Smith continued to defy expectations, break records, and snatch souls with his iconic stiff arm. See, Smith was known for his fiery personality and competitive spirit. With that reputation, he often found himself at odds with teammates, coaches, and even opponents.
And a fight is going on in the end zone. Flags have been down.
First down Carolina at the 34 as he and Talib get started and go at it, and company comes to see what's going on.
What happened between you and Talib on the field early in the game?
I don't know. You gonna ask him because he didn't finish the game. Ice up, son. Ice up.
His on-field antics sometimes overshadow his on-field accomplishments, leading the Panthers to ultimately make a shift in culture.
With the first pick in the 2011 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Cam Newton, quarterback, Auburn.
They would make that shift when the Panthers decided to draft a new face of the franchise. See, the past decade it had been Smith's team, but the Panthers wanted a change and gave the reins to Cam.
We had some losing seasons, so I was starting to get frustrated with the losing. Kind of projected some of that on Cam and some on the team as well.
I've never been the first overall pick. I've never been a quarterback. I don't think I can make 50 yards in Cam's shoes, and I don't think Cam can make 50 yards in my shoes.
So with tension between the two starting to build within the organization, and Smith's internal Super Bowl contender clock ticking, in 2014, Smith's career took a turn when the Panthers released him, ending his tenure with the team.
We are here to support Steve Smith, whether he's with the team or without the team. He is, the heart and soul of the Carolina Panthers. We are blessed to have him for 13 seasons. We wish it would be a couple more, but at least we've got him. We had him for a good 13 seasons.
Despite being in his mid-30s, Smith wasn't ready to hang up his cleats just yet. So, he signed with the Baltimore Ravens, where he found new life with John Harbaugh and Joe Flacco. He also played his former team that season, which for Smith was the cherry on top.
And if you think I can't play, you're going to find out week 4.
Flacco got time, lofting it up, tip, caught. That is Steve Smith, senior, for the touchdown. Owen Daniels tipped it, and number 89 was there. What a day for number 89. He was front and center.
In Baltimore, Smith proved that he still had plenty left in the tank.
Here we go. This is a nail, hit him in a coffin. You're dead. Take your ass back to Carolina. Make sure you mow my lawn too while you're out there. Keep it clean for me.
In his final 3 years, he continued to put up impressive numbers, further solidifying his case for Hall of Fame consideration. However, his time with the Ravens was not without its challenges, including injuries the majority of his second season.
Here come the Chargers. Flacco got rid of it.
complete to Smith. First down and then some across the 40. And Steve Smith is really slow to get up.
Nevertheless, there's no denying Smith's impact on the game of football.
You're playing this game and the expectations that are expected from you. It's a lot of pressure. The pressure that I have now, is getting the kids to school on time. Do I eat a pint of ice cream or a gallon of ice cream? So it's going to be different, but it's something I look forward to.
He retired as one of the most prolific wide receivers in NFL history, ranking in the top 10 all-time in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. His list of accolades speaks for itself, including 5 Pro Bowl selections, 2 first-team All-Pro nods, and the NFL Comeback Player of the Year like we talked about earlier. Off the field, Smith has also made significant contributions to the community. Through his charitable foundation, he has worked tirelessly to support underprivileged youth and families in need. His commitment to making a positive impact on the lives of others is a testament to his character and integrity. So, is Steve Smith Sr. a Hall of Famer? As far as stats go, not including the over 14,000 receiving yards and 81 touchdowns in his NFL career, Smith is a 5-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro wide receiver, NFL Comeback Player of the Year, named to the PFWA All-Rookie team in 2001, and by far the most impressive stat any player can receive is the elusive Triple Crown in 2005, where he led the league in receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, and total receptions. Coupled with his college achievements, I think it's more than safe to say Steve Smith Sr. makes a compelling case for induction.
I never thought I'd be able to wear a Carolina Panther jersey ever again. So I thought, for one last time, now the next step is make sure nobody ever wears this number again.
On October 6, 2019, Smith was inducted into the Panthers Hall of Honor, reuniting with his former team as they recognize Smith and everything he's done for the franchise. But ultimately, time will tell whether Smith receives the invites it can. But regardless of whether he dons a gold jacket, there's no denying the impact he left on the game of football and the hearts of fans everywhere. Steve Smith Sr. may be a polarizing figure, but his impact on the sport will be remembered for generations to come.